But we are trying to focus on the paranormal right now.
It's
we're in the month of
guys.
October.
We do this every year, and it's really fun because a lot of people just through the year have stories like this, but we like to focus all
the
those stories
spooky,
in this month.
unexplainable things.
We even have the music behind.
Ooh, turn that up.
Do I hear it? All right, we're going to start with Tim, 713-390-KRBE. Good morning, Tim. Welcome to Believe It or Not.
Good morning.
Ooh, good morning, Tim. You've even got that imposing voice.
Sexy.
Hello.
Let's get that in.
Oh, Eric's got a fear
I don't know if
boner.
I'm scared or if I'm turned on. What's happening over here?
Whoa. That's why I wanted him to go first.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, Tim. Tell us your story, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So many years ago, my wife and I, we got married. She had a 2-year-old daughter. We were looking for a small house in the country to rent. We had a friend who was in our house who was going to be moving soon. He said, hey, you should try this place out. Nice house, nice location, yada, yada. So we did. It was just he and his wife, 2-bedroom house, so they only had one bedroom open. When I met the landlord, I said, we got to open a second bedroom for my daughter, or we can't take the house. She said, well, I kind of hate to. My father actually passed away in the house. My mother lost her mind and ambled out in the yard and froze to death in the front yard.
Oh my gosh.
This was many years before that. But all of her things are in that bedroom. We don't have a place to store them. I said, I can't take the house without 2 bedrooms. I need one for my daughter. So she said, we'll get it out in a couple of weeks. So we went ahead and moved in. Everything was great. They came to empty that room out, and I kid you not, when they unlocked the door, you could feel the chill come through the rest of the house.
Ooh.
Just an
Why
eerie
is it they
feeling
always
that went
say-
over all of us.
It's always
I'm
like
sorry?
they always say it's like a really cold air.
It
It's
was.
energy.
It was really cold
Like
there.
your back
It
of your
went
neck
from wearing
hairs.
short sleeve shirts in there to you wearing sweatshirts. Weird, we knew, but not a lot of properties to get, so we thought, well, maybe, imagination or whatever. We were young and dumb.
Sure.
So
And then?
my daughter moved into the room. We instantly started having nightmares. When I say we, I would have them. My wife would have them. My daughter would wake up in the middle of the night screaming. We'd have to go get her. Something she'd never done because she slept really well.
Can I ask real quick, Tim, how old did you say your daughter was at the time?
She was 2 at the time.
2 years old, and she's in the creepy cold room. Whoa. Okay. So y'all
Young
start
and
having
dumb, Rilla. I
nightmares.
told you, young and dumb.
Young and dumb.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, you had to
You
do what
stay
you
in
had
that
to do, but
room,
oh
we're
man.
gonna stay in the other one. No one died there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be like,
On
this
the
baby
upside
girl's
of
sleeping
it,
right here
my
between
children
us.
love horror movies now, so it paid off dividends in the end.
Anything else happen?
But lots of stuff happened. There'd be things that would move around in the living room. We'd have pillows on the couch where we'd lay and watch TV. The next morning, they'd be in different spots. Did you move this? No, I didn't. Well, Amber must have. I didn't. Well, you didn't know. She's 2-year-old. There was no shower, but there were tubs. So, if you ever had to take a shower, a bath in a tub, you'd lay down and wash your hair. Every time we did that, it was a weird feeling that came over you that somebody was standing watching you, so you jump up and look. Nobody would ever be there.
Oh, I don't like that. No.
Stop it. Oh, God. How long did this go on for, Tim, before either y'all bailed out or it stopped? Did it stop?
Well, I'll tell you what drove us out. The lady had a curio cabinet, the lady being the mother who had lived there. Her
Right.
daughter now owned the house, and she had trinkets and whatnots and things on a shelf in there, little figurines. We were worried about my daughter breaking them, so my wife moved them to an upper shelf and put some of her things on the bottom shelf. Did that during the day. We had dinner, did all the things you do, went to bed, got up the next day. All these trinkets had swapped places. My wife's were on the upper shelf. The ladies were back on the bottom shelf where she had left them when she walked out in the yard to freeze to death that time. My wife asked me, she said, did you move these? I said, no, I didn't move these. She said, you had to. I said, I did not move these. I tell you, what do you want to do? She said, I want to get the hell out.
Yeah.
So we found a place, and we actually moved in with her mother until we could find another house to live in.
Was that scarier?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was horrible, Eric. Horrible.
I'll go back to the ghost. No
How
mother-in-law.
much time total, Tim, did y'all spend in that house?
About 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Whoa.
That's
You had to break the lease. You had to really, man.
And when you
Well,
wanted
this
to
was-
get out, did the family understand or they give you grief? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. None of that has happened.
No, they didn't give us any grief about it. She kind of looked. The lady was a little thin on brains, it appeared like, so it was almost like she expected it. But they didn't give us any grief, and this was 36 years ago, so there wasn't a lease we signed. It was word to mouth. We're going to take it, and this was the rent.
Sure,
Okay,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
right then. Damn,
We got
dude.
out quick.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Whoa. I have chills.
When I'm talking about these figurines, I'm not talking 1 or 2. There were probably 10 or 15.
Oh, wow.
But each one was placed back on the bottom shelf just exactly like they were when we moved in. and that's what put us out.
Whoa,
Interesting.
creepy.
And we laugh
Well,
about
Tim,
it now. My daughters, of course, they don't remember it, but when we tell the story, they get all big-eyed and, oh, yeah.
They get big eyes.
Yeah.
You gotta let them do it.
You brought it with that one, Tim. Thanks for sharing your creepy paranormal
I
story.
really
here.
get to talk
Believe
to
it or not,
Reagan because those stories when you're a kid. Raising kids can see ghosts. They can see things when they're little.
Reagan has a very October name. That's the name of the character in The Exorcist.
Oh, it is?
okay.
Reagan.
It spelled like that too.
Oh, really?
Oh, Reagan,
okay.
bring us your story
R-
here on
yeah,
Believe It or Not. Good morning.
R-E-G-A-N.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened
Ugh.
when you were a little kid?
Okay, so I was probably 12, and I apologize. My voice is not as good as the prior story.
It's Tim. Can you do it as a deep voice? Can you do that? Oh, yeah, that's right.
A long time ago, 35 years ago. Just kidding. Like 20 years ago when I was 12, my mother lives in Virginia. So I went up there to visit her with my little brother, and her best friend Joy were living in a really old house at Virginia Beach. So
Okay.
the first, before we even went in there, she picked us up from the airport, and she was like, okay, kids, I have to let you know, our house is a little bit haunted. Every morning at 9 in the morning, the cabinets bang. And we were like,
Oh gosh.
you should have told us that before we came. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she was convinced. She was like, it's a guy. We named him Brian, blah, blah, blah. So we were just like, ha ha, okay, Mom. So we get there. I didn't feel anything weird. There was no chill, nothing strange. And then, we got to talking about it later on, and she was like, yeah, Joy's son said that it's a woman, but I don't believe him. And I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. So we go to bed. We wake up really early because she has to go to work, and sure enough, at 9, the cabinets start banging. And, we were talking, and, this was back in the day, so the MTV music videos were on early in the morning, and, it just felt like it was dead silent. All you could hear was the cabinets opening and shutting. And, we're not connected to any other houses, so it wasn't, something
Yeah, like a
like
train
construction
going by.
or
and-
somebody.
Sure.
Right.
There's no
Yeah.
explanation. You can't explain it away.
Right. So we were like, okay, that was really creepy. Okay, we believe you now. So we left the house, and she goes, bye, Brian, like she said bye to the ghost. And so later that night,
friends.
yeah. Right. So later that night, we're sleeping. I'm sleeping on the floor of her room, which has a Jack and Jill bathroom. So Joy's bedroom is across the hall, but the rooms connect by the bathroom.
Okay.
So I'm asleep on the floor on the air mattress, and it's late. My mom and my brother are already sleeping. So Joy comes in the room, and she's like, hey, I need to go use the restroom. Sorry for waking you. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So she goes in the bathroom through our bedroom and shuts the door, locks it. So in the morning, I tell my mom, hey, did Joy lock herself out of the bathroom or something? Because, she came in through our bedroom last night, haha, laughing. And my mom was like, Joy is out of town.
What?
Oh gosh.
That wasn't
So-
Joy?
What?
That was somebody else?
It was not Joy. Joy was out of town.
What?
So, yeah, there was a story.
Yeah, well, who was this person?
No.
It sounded
I
like
don't
Joy.
know,
You
so-
saw the figure of Joy, or were you half asleep?
man.
How did you not
Yes.
realize it was not Joy?
Because I was asleep and the lights were out, and she just came in. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to get into the bathroom." I didn't question it because she was a woman. She was blonde. It just looked like Joy, I guess, if you're half asleep.
And you told
Yeah.
So
me,
I just
But she wasn't translucent or anything.
did you hear her pee?
no, she was a full-bodied person.
Okay, and then so who is that person if it wasn't Joy?
Did you hear
Was
her?
the dude
Um,
posed in the cabinets?
I know she said it's
This
a
is-
woman.
I have no idea.
So you told your
Yeah,
family
there's
this.
the second part.
Did they believe you? Because you said a year later something happened then, right?
Yes. My mom believed me. She thought that was super creepy. The rest of our stay, nothing else really happened except the cabinets every morning at 9. But
Yeah.
I want to say a year later, my mom moved out, and she rented her room to someone else. And she got a call from this guy, and he said that he woke up in the middle of the night because a woman came into his room and looked just like Joy. So at first he started, talking to her like, hey, what are you doing in my room? And it wasn't her. So he saw the same figure that came in, but he was older and had like a conversation with her. I don't remember the details, but apparently she
Hey,
said,
baby, what are you
she
doing
died
here?
in the bathroom. Yeah.
Do you think it could be
So
like
the same
somebody
ghost.
living in the attic, like a squatter?
Yeah, maybe you got like a
Right, what
freeloader.
No, I think it's a ghost.
Logging.
Yeah, because I'm
It's a
thinking
ghost.
maybe
You guys saw ghost. The same ghost.
that's weird.
No
So,
doubt.
yeah, the same goes. My mom calls me and she told me, and I remember that. It's like such a core memory because I was shaken. That's when the chills happened.
Oh, yeah.
Was when my mom said that.
Ooh.
It just
Wow.
blew me away.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Especially little kids
Creepy.
seeing ghosts. Hey, talk to Kimmy real quick because she saw
Hi, Kimmy.
her
Welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show.
grandfather
It's,
after he passed away.
Oh,
like,
wow.
believe
right
it
after.
or not, the paranormal. What you
Hi.
got, Kimmy? Good morning.
Kimmy, so you saw your grandpa after he died?
Yeah, so I was living in California at the time, and my grandfather was in the hospital in Missouri. And we were at one of my mom's friends' houses. Sorry, I was like 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. And we turned on the TV, and it was all staticky, so we turned it back off. And then it turned itself back on.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And we
Is it
went
still
over.
staticky?
Poltergeist.
Yeah, and it was still staticky, so we went
Yeah.
over, turned it back off, and it did it again. So we turned it off, and then we're just sitting at the table, and all of the lights in the trailer, they all go like really dim. They don't like turn off, but they go really dim, and then they like get super super bright, like where it's almost like gonna explode.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And yeah,
Whoa.
and yeah, it was crazy. And then they got normal, and the friend's house we were at, Sheila had a brother that passed away like a while ago. And so my mom was like, "Hey, Mike, is that you?" And then she goes, "Or is it you, Dad?" And then right after she said that, my aunt called my mom and was like, "Hey, Dad just passed away."
Oh.
And so I'm crying because I'd only got to meet him once. And so I go outside and I'm like talking on the phone with my friend about, my grandfather. I didn't know much about him. And then all of a sudden I just felt like something standing next to me. And I turn my head and I see my grandfather there in his military uniform, which I didn't know he was in the military. And he had a white, like his hair was white. And it was like a flat top cut like they do in the military. And I didn't know he had white hair since he was since he was 20. And so I went and I told my mom, and I was like, "I think I just saw Grandpa." And I told her what he was wearing. She goes, "Yeah, he was in the military, and he's had white hair since he was in his 20s."
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
crazy.
Did he say anything to you, or you just saw him standing there?
I just saw him standing there, and then I just felt like a relief, like he's okay.
Oh. Oh, that's.
Yeah.
That's really,
So I believe in that type of stuff. I remember, Ryan, you had a story that where
me too.
your was your aunt
Yeah, I
after
had
your
it.
dad died?
My dad died at 8:12 at night on Christmas, and we'd had a distant relative who'd been in a coma, and she was coming out of it at the exact same moment that my dad was dying, and she was mentioning all these people that had passed away in her life, like her father and her brother, and then
She saw-
and she goes, "Denny, what are you doing here?" My dad's name was Dennis, and then that was the exact moment my dad died. Like at the
See?
exact
That's
same
creepy.
time. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, we continue on with the October spooky stories. That's what we're going to do all October for Believe It or Not. It's the stories of the paranormal. I can't say that word.
Paranormal.
Paranormal. Or, like spiritual happenings and not everything is a coincidence, guys. Not everything is one of these one-offs. Something is all connected.